Chapter 3 of Alcatraz versus Evil Librarians. I'd like to take this opportunity to point out something important. Should a strangled man of questionable sanity show up at your door, suggesting that he is your grandfather, and that you should accompany him upon some quest of mystical import, you should flatly refuse him. Don't take his candy either. Unfortunately, as you will soon see, I was quickly forced to break this rule. Please don't hold it against me. It was done under duress. I'm really not used to being shot at. I walked tiredly into the kitchen, which still smelled of smoke, hoping that the strange old man wouldn't take to pounding on the door. I didn't really want to call the police on him. Not only would I likely break the telephone in the process, I'm particularly bad with phones, but I really didn't want the old loon carted away in a police car. That would have been, "Alcatraz, Smedry?" a voice suddenly asked. I jumped, turning from the half-burned cupboard, a box of cornflakes in my hand. A man stood in the doorway behind me, wearing slacks and a button-down shirt. I frowned, realizing that I recognized the symbol on the man's shirt pocket and standard issue attaché case. He was a foster care caseworker. This was the man that Miss Fletcher had sent to pick me up from the house. I realized that when I had originally gone chasing the old man up to my room, I left the front door open. The caseworker must have come in looking for me while I was upstairs chatting with the lunatic. "Hi," I said, putting down the box. "I'll be ready in a bit. Let me have breakfast first." "You're him, then?" Caseworker asked, adjusting his horn-rimmed glasses. "The Smedry kid?" I nodded. "Good," the man said, then pulled a gun out of his attaché case and raised it toward me. It had a silencer on the barrel. I froze, shocked. "And don't try to claim that you did anything different the first time a government bureaucrat pulled a gun on you." Fortunately, I eventually found my tongue. "Wait," I said, raising my hands. "What are you doing?" "Thanks for the sands, kid," the man said, and moved as if to pull the trigger. At that moment, something massive crashed through the wall of my house, something that looked a lot like the front end of an old Model T Ford. I cried out, dodging to the side, and the caseworker stumbled to the ground in the chaos. The man who called himself Grandpa Smedry sat happily in the driver's seat. A chunk of smoke-damaged ceiling fell down onto the hood of the car, throwing up a puff of white dust. The old man poked his head out the window. "Lad," he said, "might I point out that you have two choices right now? You can get in the car with me, or you stay here with the man holding a gun." I stood, dazed. "You really don't have much time to decide," Grandpa Smedry said, leaning toward me, speaking in a kind of half-whisper, as if we were sharing some kind of great secret. I would like to pause here and note that Grandpa Smedry was lying to me. I didn't only have two choices. At that point, I had quite a few more than that. True, I could have chosen to stay in the room and get shot. I also could have chosen to get in the car. However, there were lots of other things I could have done. For instance, I could have run around the house, flapping my arms and pretending that I was a penguin. The logical choice to make in this situation would have been to call the police on both of those maniacs. Unfortunately, I didn't think of penguins or police, and instead did as Grandpa Smedry said, scrambling over and getting into the car. As I stated in the beginning of the chapter, I really shouldn't have done this. I was soon to learn the dangers involved in following strange old men on quests. I don't want to give away any more of the story, but let me say that my fate at this point took a sharp turn toward altars, sacrifices, and evil librarians, and possibly some sharks. The car backed out of the house, the tires leaving tracks in the lawn. I sat in the front passenger seat, still stunned, looking at the wreckage of the Sheldons' house. Bits of siding are falling off the house wall, crushing for his prized tulips. There was more damage than I'd ever done to any foster home. This time it wasn't directly my fault, but, well, that didn't change the fact that the kitchen was no longer just burned, but also had quite a large hole in it. We turned onto the street in front of the house, the car puttering along at modest speed. The caseworker didn't chase after us, but that didn't stop me from watching anxiously until the house disappeared in the distance. Someone just tried to kill me, I thought, feeling numb. You may find it hard to believe, considering the number of things I'd broken in my life, but this was the first time someone had actually tried to shoot me. It was an unsettling feeling, a little like the way you feel when you have the flu. Actually, maybe there's a connection. "Well, that was exciting," Grandpa Smedry said. I was still staring out the window. The street passed outside, a suburban neighborhood distinctive only in that it looked pretty much like every other one in the nation. Calm, two-story houses, green lawns, oak trees, shrubs, flower beds, all carefully maintained. "He tried to kill me," I whispered. Grandpa Smedry sorted. "Not very well. You understand eventually, lad, but pulling a gun on a Smedry isn't exactly the smartest thing a man can do. That's behind us. Now we have to decide what to do next." "Next? Of course, we can't just let them have those sands." Grandpa Smedry raised a hand and pointed at me. "Don't you understand, lad? It's not just your life that's in danger here. This is a fate of an entire world we're juggling. The free kingdoms are already looking their war losing their war against the librarians. With a tool like the sands of Rashid, the librarians will have just the edge they need to win. If we don't get the sands back before they're smelted, which will only take a few hours, it could lead to the overthrow of the free kingdoms themselves. We're civilization's only hope. I see, I said. I don't think you do, lad. The lenses smelted from that sand will contain the most powerful oscillatory distortions either land has ever seen. Gathering those sands was your father's life work. I can't believe you let the librarians steal them. I'll be honest, lad. I had higher hopes for you. I really expected better. If I only hadn't come so late. I sat quietly looking out the windshield. Now it's time you understand something about me. Despite what the stories like to say about my honor and my foresight, truth is that I possess neither trait in large amounts. One trait I've always possessed, however, is rashness. Some call it irresponsibility, others call it spontaneity. Either way, I could rightly be called a somewhat reckless boy, not always prone to carefully considering the consequences of my actions. In this case, of course, there was something more beyond the decision I made. I had seen very odd things that day. It occurred to me that if something as crazy as a gunman showing up in my house could happen, perhaps it could be true that this old man was my grandfather. Someone had tried to kill me. My house was in shambles. I was sitting in a 100-year-old car with a madman. What the heck, I thought. This might be fun. I turned, focusing on the man who claimed to be my grandfather. I didn't let them steal the sand, I found myself saying. Grandpa Smetter turned to me. Well, I did, I said, but I let them take the sand on purpose, of course. I wanted to follow them and see what they tried to do with it. After all, how else are we going to uncover the dastardly schemes? Grandpa Smetter paused, then he smiled. His eyes twinkled knowingly, and I saw for the first time a hint of wisdom in the old man. Grandpa Smetter didn't seem to believe what I had said, but he reached over anyway, clapping me in the arm. Now that's talking like a Smedry. Okay, so I'm going to leave off right there and pick up next time on page 33. And I really enjoy reading these. I'm glad you picked this one. And as you know, Brandon Sanderson is both our favorite authors, so alright, until next time.